Welcome to Hollywood Actions. In this video, we're going to take a heartfelt and emotional journey through the lives of some of the brightest stars of the golden age of Hollywood. Actors whose talent, charm, and charisma captivated audiences across generations, but whose lives ended in heartbreaking tragedy. Now, let's dive in. 1. Jean Seberg. Jean Seberg was a name that symbolized youth, rebellion, and cinematic brilliance. Born in Iowa, she became an international sensation after starring in Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless, 1960, a film that defined the French New Wave movement. Her naturalistic acting style, beauty, and charm made her one of the most admired young actresses of the 1960s. But Seberg's life was far more turbulent than her glamorous image suggested. In September 1979, Jean Seberg was found dead in her car in Paris. Authorities ruled it a suicide by overdose. She was only 40 years old. 2. Dana Plato. While she found fame slightly after Hollywood's golden age, Dana Plato's story is a modern echo of old Hollywood tragedy, a child star who couldn't escape the shadow of early fame. Best known for her role as Kimberly Drummond on the hit TV series Different Strokes, Plato was adored by audiences for her bright smile and sweet personality. But behind the scenes, her life was spiraling out of control. In May 1999, at just 34 years old, Dana Plato died of a drug overdose, later ruled a suicide. Her tragic story mirrored that of many Hollywood actors who achieved fame too young and were left without support when the spotlight faded. 3. Inger Stevens. Swedish-American actress Inger Stevens was one of the most captivating stars of the 1950s and 1960s. Known for her roles in the Farmer's Daughter TV series and films like The World, The Flesh and the Devil, 1959, and Ham High, 1968, she had a beauty and poise that made her unforgettable. But behind that polished exterior was a life filled with sadness and isolation. In April 1970, at just 35 years old, she was found unconscious at her home in Hollywood Hills after ingesting a large amount of barbiturates. Despite being rushed to the hospital, she could not be revived. Her death was ruled a suicide. 4. Freddie Prinze. Charismatic, funny, and full of energy, Freddie Prinze became one of the biggest stars of the 1970s thanks to his role as Chico Rodriguez on the hit sitcom Chico and the man born Frederick Carl Perwetzel to a Puerto Rican mother and a Hungarian father. Prinze broke racial barriers in Hollywood comedy. By age 22, he was a household name, adored by millions for his humor and charm. But fame came with unbearable pressure. Prinze struggled with depression, insomnia, and drug abuse in January 1977, at just 22 years old, Freddie Prinze took his own life with a gunshot wound. His sudden death shocked the entertainment world. 5. George Sanders. George Sanders was the epitome of sophistication and wit, an actor whose smooth voice and sardonic charm made him unforgettable in films like All About Eve, 1950, Rebecca, 1940, and The Picture of Dorian Gray, 1945. Born in St. Petersburg, Russia, Sanders and his family fled during the Russian Revolution, eventually settling in England. He began his career on stage before moving to Hollywood, where his elegant demeanor quickly made him a go-to actor for cynical villains and suave gentlemen. In April 1972, while living in Spain, George Sanders took his own life at the age of 65. He left behind a haunting note that read, 6. Gig Young. Oscar-winning actor Gig Young dazzled audiences with his charm and charisma in films like They Shoot Horses, Don't They? 1969, for which he won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Born Byron Barr, he adopted the name Gig Young after a character he played early in his career. With his good looks and suave personality, he was cast in a series of romantic comedies and dramas throughout the 1940s and 50s, appearing alongside major stars like Doris Day and James Cagney. Despite his professional success, Young's personal life was filled with heartbreak and instability. He battled severe alcoholism, depression, and a series of failed marriages. 7. Ruan Lingyu. Though primarily known as a Chinese actress, Ruan Lingyu became an international symbol of early cinema's tragic beauty. Dubbed the Greta Garbo of China, she was one of the biggest stars of the 1930s, celebrated for her performances in films like The Goddess, 1934, and New Woman, 1935. The Chinese tabloids of the time were ruthless, constantly invading her privacy and spreading malicious gossip about her relationships and personal life. The relentless media harassment took a devastating toll on Ruan's mental health. T, just 24 years old, she took her own life in 1935, leaving behind a note that read, 8. Charles Boyer. French-born actor Charles Boyer was one of the most romantic leading men of the Golden Age, captivating audiences with his deep voice, intense gaze, and sophisticated charm. He starred opposite some of Hollywood's most legendary actresses, Ingrid Bergman, Bette Davis, and Hedy Lamarr, in classics like Gaslight, 1944, and Algiers, 1938. That off-screen, Boyer was deeply devoted to his wife, British actress Pat Patterson. The couple shared a famously happy marriage that lasted more than 4 decades. But when Pat passed away from cancer in 1978, Boyer was consumed by grief. Just 2 days after her death, the 78-year-old actor took his own life with an overdose of barbiturates. 9. Lupe Vallès. Lupe Vallès was one of the most dynamic and fiery personalities of early Hollywood. Her comedic timing and vivacious energy lit up the screen in films like the Mexican Spitfire series, The Half-Naked Truth, 1932, and Hot Pepper, 1933. Vallès broke barriers as one of the first Mexican actresses to achieve major stardom in Hollywood. But her life behind the camera was filled with emotional turmoil. She had high-profile romances with stars like Gary Cooper, and her passionate temper often became tabloid fodder. At just 36 years old, Lupe Vallès took her own life by ingesting a lethal dose of barbiturates. Her death shocked both Hollywood and Mexico, sparking endless rumors and myths. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my video, then like and share my video, and subscribe my YouTube channel for more Golden Age videos and Cast Then and Now.